inside. There the big don't argue. Get off me, he says. Clear the tarmac. It's takeoff time.
Media Vintage Sports Network presents Play-by-Play Podcast with Jordan Hughes.
Hello and welcome, Play-by-Play Rugby. May 27th, earlier pod this week. Bit of a scheduling thing, but we're back for a big week and we give a full Super Rugby recap coming your way. Japanese final, European final, and of course our picks and preview for the final round of the regular season. You know these two very well by now. Reen Stowers, Tyler Campbell. Gents, welcome in. Bit of a Monday pod. How good?
Yes.
Yeah, a bit different and quicker recap. We had to catch up on a couple of games today, but yeah, looking forward to this week of Super Rugby, last round before the semi-finals.
Yeah, it's getting good.
Quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, yes.
Sad we don't know the team list, but
No, but you know, it is what it is.
I'm sure everyone will be putting their best teams forward in the last round.
Oh, I don't reckon.
We'll discuss that when we get to it. But in the meantime, boys, big Super Rugby on the weekend. We'll go through the games and sort of discuss them. The Chiefs 17, the Hurricanes 20. Boys, I'll let you two take this one away.
Regardless of the result,
Yes.
I thought the ref was poor. And it should have been a high-scoring spectacle. Like, he just blew way too many penalties both ways. And, like, obviously I'm pretty passionate on that last call. And not necessarily because of the game was decided by it, but I just don't think rewarding the attacking team for being tackled. Like, it was a dominant tackle.
Yeah.
He lands on top. The two guys from the Hurricanes go on top of him.
Jacobson,
he gets
yeah?
stuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jacobson, big hit, smokes Geordie Barrett, lands on top of them. The two guys that are near in the Hurricanes go on top of him, so he can't roll. And it's like, well, hang on, now we're not rewarding people making dominant tackles. We're rewarding guys that sort of trap them in there to get the penalty. And it's smart by the Hurricanes.
Yeah, exactly. Like
by the rule
it's
book.
not like it just happened. Like the Hurricanes
It's
definitely
tactical.
would have seen him
Yeah.
on top and would have trapped him in there. Like, I mean, you do what you do
Yeah.
within the rules of the game.
But if you're
But
someone...
yeah, it's shit that the game went down to
What
that.
annoyed me is if I was to go and tell people, this is the game to watch, this is going to be game of the round, and you see a game decided from a big hit and getting stuck, it's like, people are going to, like, this is a stupid game.
Bit anticlimactic.
Yeah, but I thought the whole game was like that. The amount of penalties the ref blew, and some were dumb, discipline both ways was poor at times, and it could have been a bit of frustration, but it was like the ref was having a bit of a look at me moment. I'm reffing the big game.
Who was it?
I can't remember who it was, but there was so many penalties. I was going, you're really killing the momentum here, because both teams come out of that game looking to attack. Both teams wanted to run the ball, and I was like, this is going to be a game. And then it just was stop-start from all the penalties, which disappointed me a little bit.
On that penalty, you can see the referee. He waited a long time. He was really thinking about it, and then eventually went, chuck it out. But you must be happy, mate. What was your sort of take on? Obviously, happy with the
I mean, like, obviously when the call happened, I was like, yes!
Yeah.
But yeah, I can understand, like, if I was a Chiefs fan and I seen that same thing happen, I would be, like, screaming at the TV.
Jeff Wilson blew up.
Yeah,
Of the
like,
commentary.
they were.
and Mills.
They couldn't believe it.
Yeah, they couldn't believe it. But
Mills is a bit biased because he has been a Chiefs man, but Jeff Wilson was Landers, so it's a tough one, and it's by the rule of the book, but it sort of sucks that we're not rewarding dominant tackles anymore.
I'm just gonna say, does Josh Morby put his hand up for All Black spot?
No. Love Morbs, great guy, but
Just got to so many other outside backs.
Who are
It's
you
so
putting
hard,
him
but
over?
yeah, I know, but like, he was the game breaker in that game. Like,
played great.
He made so many line breaks.
Maybe like a New Zealand development, but I just don't think he's on the level yet of Talia, Severies,
Yeah.
Caleb Clark,
Maybe
Ruben
there's
Love.
another good year of doing this. mate.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, most wingers that you put
He
in an All
also
Black
signed
team-
overseas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he won't even get a look in.
Yeah. But like you could say, most wingers coming up that you do put in the All Black, once they get their chance, they normally shine. Like almost everyone.
Yeah. You pull on the black jersey, they always do well.
Yeah, especially for an outside back, you got all that talent inside you. All you have to do is your job.
Yeah. So the Canes get that one done. Next up, the Brumbies 53 over the Rebels 17. Just as you guys both said, just Rebels would nowhere. Brumbies destroyed them. Tom Wright 2 tries. There was 4 yellow cards in the game. Any thoughts on this?
Tom Wright, Aussie fullback.
Yeah.
I don't even think Callaway's in the conversation anymore at the back.
No.
Definitely as a winger. Like I still see Callaway being on the wing, but Tom Wright's been outstanding. He's in such good form. His combination with Noah, I think, probably gives Noah the push for the 10 jersey.
Yeah.
I know Carter Gordon didn't play on the weekend, but like the Brumbies spent most of the second half. There was one point they spent like with 13 men. Like they had so many cards.
Yeah, 3 of those yellow cards were Brumbies.
Yeah, and they just dominated across the park. Outside, I think scrum time was the only place they kind of struggled a little bit. Other than that, they were just so dominant in that game. And if I'm the Rebels, I'm really wanting to win this week because I don't want to go back to Canberra and play that game in 2 weeks' time.
Which is not going to be an easy task this weekend
definitely not.
over in Fiji, which we'll get into it. And we'll move it along. Moana 27 over the Waratahs 12. Not much to say other than just the Tars is terrible once again. Like, didn't offer anything.
I thought they might have bounced back a little bit.
Yeah.
Coach being sacked and had something about them, and maybe they'll do it this week. But it wasn't a great performance. I don't want to say the word disgraceful, but they're just not playing
far.
It
well.
caught us by surprise for sure. Like, I didn't think that Moana were going to get the job done after, like you said, bounce back and that coach effect that like seems to happen with most teams.
I thought it would be a bit closer.
Yeah,
Like
13
20
plus.
Like I did not think 13. I thought it would be a dog fight to the end, and I gave Moana the edge solely because they were at home. Well, they had the home game, so
You got us, me and Ree both picked the Tars in that one. So the Waratahs are the only team that can't make the finals in this ridiculous concept, heading to the final round, which we will discuss a bit later on. But the big one, obviously, as we you touched on that, if they're going to win one, this will be the one they would win, and they did exactly that. The Crusaders 29-27 over the Blues. Hell of a contest, but yeah, wow. Where's that been all year?
I just think the Crusaders, in general, have the Blues number. Like, if you look at history, they've always sort of... I don't know why they match up so well against the Blues. Like, it's obviously two of the biggest cities and two of the, probably predominantly through history, the better teams. Like, they've both won sort of the most comps. And, the Crusaders just know how to beat the Blues. And even when they went up to Eden Park and they weren't playing well, that was still a close game. So their style of play suits that, and they got the job done, and they've given themselves a chance now to make finals. And if they sneak into the 8th, then poor Ian's going to have to be biting his nails because they'll probably be playing the Hurricanes round 1.
Yeah, that's rough.
But they need the Rebels to win this weekend, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they need the Rebels to win. So it's not in their fate.
Yeah.
They don't. What do you call it? They don't have all the
Destiny in
destiny
their hands.
No, well, yeah, destiny are in their own hands.
Yeah,
They
nice.
have they have to rely on other things. But I think they get the job done this week with a bonus point because they are playing Moana.
But I mean, the thing is, if they do sneak into that 8, bro,
Concerning.
that is concerned because they literally could beat anyone.
on their
I
day.
think that Scott Barrett's back this week too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not, and he was in the 2 games he played. He was the best player on the field. So
I'm really hoping they don't sneak in.
Yeah, so do I.
They don't deserve it.
They don't. Speaking of outside backs, Che Fiaki, again, he was strong.
Yeah.
Is this...
he's been like this year.
Yeah, you're right, but on the weekend he was very good. Has he been the Crusaders the last few years, or what's his story? Do you know?
He's been there for a while. When I was living in Sydney, I remember he was a young fella. He was on the bench for them in their trial matches, I'm pretty sure, that I went to go watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he came into Canterbury in the NPC at about 2019 and sort of progressed from there, and they've been developing. Like, obviously, a lot of talent, but it's been behind a Will Jordan at the back for the last few years. Heavily, there's been a lot of talent in front of him, so he's had a good chance to develop. And I think the more he plays, the better he'll get. But then, obviously, next year when Will Jordan comes back in, I don't see where he fits into that sort of 23.
Bro, and he's definitely developed. Like, when I watched him, so I went to Melbourne. We were playing in Sydney at that time. I think maybe because of COVID. And I remember going to watch him because Josh Cannon was playing, and I was thinking I was going to go down and watch. And Fiaki back then was like lanky as. Like, I didn't even recognise him this year until like I sort of pieced it together. And now he's
Like Balkans,
he's
fast.
built,
Yeah.
and and he hasn't lost any speed or anything.
Yeah, very impressive. It's the Crusaders have a chance still in round 15. So the Queensland Reds dominant over the Western Force, 59 points to 13. The Junkyard Dog, Timmy Ryan, collected a hat-trick. Fraser McWright got 2. This is one of the best performances of the year.
Bro, they were beating them everywhere.
Yeah.
Their mauls were going forward the whole time.
Were you there? Did you see this game?
No, I didn't go. I did watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all watched it. Had
We
the
did
Zane
it.
cam.
Zane cam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Zane's walking. Zane's walking.
Yeah, literally, we were just
We literally
watching.
just sat there and watched Zane.
watching him walk around the field. But he crawled twice.
Zane's crawling.
Crawling,
Zane's
crawling.
No, well, because the game was such a blowout, we needed to entertain ourselves, so we
Yeah,
just did
fair.
the Zane cam.
But, the Junkyard Dog. How good, eh?
Like, he has a chance to be a real cult figure for that. He already is, but, can really...
I'm all over. Yeah, I'm on the bandwagon,
Well,
eh?
I say, so he's becoming like the Rob Davies was when they won it.
Yeah, like you said, a
2011.
cult hero. He is
Yeah.
going to be a cult hero.
And it was pretty funny seeing all his mates barking after the game
Got the
with their
t-shirts.
shirts
Bro,
on.
that's
like,
awesome.
Bro, that fella at the front
Oh.
up too.
Yeah.
he even goes, that's a liability.
He's still barking?
Yeah. Oh shit.
But it's a good performance from the Reds, and they needed a bounce back, and
Yeah.
I'm glad they did it. But it scares me a little bit as a Chiefs fan because we play them in 2 weeks, like it's locked in.
And they're the one
4v5.
team that they can We have beaten them over there twice.
They've been them once over there.
Didn't they beat them this year over there?
Nope, it was at Suncorp.
Oh, okay. We beat them.
Beat them.
Yeah.
But
Fluky
I
was
think
firing.
Who?
Fluky?
Oh, yeah.
be an
he's
interesting
tough.
one.
Speaking of
We'll
tough, mate.
talk more about it next week, but I think it's a tough challenge for the Chiefs, but I think having that home advantage will help.
Yeah, that'll be our finals previews next week. But yeah, the Force, once again, a bit like the Drua, just can't win away from home. Just terrible, man.
I know it's like they've got the longest travel no matter where they go,
Yeah,
but you can't be doing that every week. Like, you've got to find a way to win on the road. Same as the Drua. Like, it's just costing them at this point that they can't win away from home.
so
They didn't even look like they were offering much.
they didn't get off the bus, mate.
They scored a lucky
Yeah.
try. Well, not a lucky try. They had a man in the bin.
in
and
like
it
the 80th
was
minute.
a good
too.
set piece, but they just had nothing.
But it doesn't look like they're a team that's gonna grind either. Like once they started falling back, it was like almost
over.
individual efforts. Like everyone was like,
Yeah,
Pain.
bounce
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Yeah,
yeah.
Hamish Stewart getting binned for swearing at the ref. Like,
Yeah.
so much things were just not going in their favour.
One final point, Suru once again, put his hand up. All class, I think.
He was gone.
I think he gets that starting. He was out for a bit. Starting spot's probably his now, even when Angus Blythe comes back. And
Yeah.
but Angus still brings that impact off the bench, so I'm interested to see what they do there.
Even his carrying, like that has been one of his points that he's needed to work on. But on the weekend, he was so dominant.
Yeah, just tough. Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he's starting to limit his errors a bit too. Like he does have that little bit of Fiji in him where he'd force that pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he started limiting those, and I think that's helping his game grow because you just get confidence after confidence after sort of confidence when you keep putting good things together back to back.
Yeah, very impressive. Speaking of the Fijians, they were very poor going down against the Highlanders. 39-3 in New Zealand on Sunday afternoon, just clinical from the get-go.
I wish you didn't talk me into that.
Yeah, you picked the draw, remember?
Oh yeah.
He challenged me. I should have just stayed with my head.
You would have got a perfect week too. I think.
Really?
We went 5 from 6, yeah.
Nah, I picked the
He
Tars.
picked the Tars. I said
Oh, true. Sorry.
Yeah.
that.
Sad. Oh, yeah. Actually, I got that wrong. Actually, you got 4 from 6. Sorry, go on.
No, but I just think the Landers are starting to look really, really good too.
Yeah, they do look sharp, eh?
They're just playing real simple footy. They've obviously got their two wingers are dominant. They're defending really well. Their back row's been awesome. Like they've been real solid, and I think Folau Fakatava's finally finding some form
Yeah.
that we've probably been missing from him. And I think now that he's sort of questionable whether he'll be making the All Blacks or not, I think this next few weeks are big for him. This game this weekend against the Hurricanes, and then the week after against the whoever they play, whether it's the Brumbies or the Blues.
Has Nadiki been injured most of the year?
He did miss a few games with a little bit of injury,
Yeah,
but
because I haven't seen much
He
of it.
started
And then-
and missed the middle.
he was also coming off ACL.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think he's starting to find that sort of form back.
Yeah, hard.
So Super Rugby round 14 in the books. Plenty of good scores and high scores as well. We go around the globe now. The Japanese Top League final was on over the weekend. The Toshiba Brave Lupus, 24 over the Wild Knights, 20. Richie Moanga does it once again in front of 56,000 people watching on. Hell of a game too.
As a Kiwi supporter, we need to throw whatever we can to get him back.
Oh,
He's got 2 years over there.
100%.
Once that 2 years is up,
3 years.
we got
Oh, sorry, 2 more now.
is it 3
He's
years?
on a 3-year deal.
We need to get him back for the next World Cup or something to get him in that team because I think he's our best 10. And it does worry me a bit if he is spending 3 years over there because I don't want to say that comp's not as strong, but it's not as physical. And you see players struggle to come back into test level, take a while to get going. But like he's just won comp after comp now. Like I think his last one where he didn't win a domestic comp was 2014, where he was the sort of main guy, and he almost did it at the World Cup last year too. If it wasn't for a solid South African side, we're probably talking about how good of a 10 he actually is, and it's probably, I'd say he's the world's best. It's either him or
You have to say he's the world's best.
Yeah, well, as we said before, 4 ITM wins, 7 Super Rugby titles, and now 1 Japanese.
Since 2014, he hasn't left a season without silverware.
That's fucked.
That is unheard of.
And to put it in perspective, this team, Japanese, they would never been
Exactly.
it's always been the Wild Knights
They-
and Suntory.
Yeah, they weren't a top team. He goes over there, they win the
Win a
comp.
comp. Like what? Yeah.
who else? Someone else went there that's really good too. I can't think of it, but like obviously they're just a solid team, and I don't know. He just runs a team really, really well, and it was questioned for a while whether he was going to be the guy for NZ.
Yeah.
And I think he is the guy, and I thought his World Cup performances proved that, and it sucks that we've sort of let him go as he started to find, I think, the form at international level that we've been sort of dying to see.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because for the Crusaders, he's always like when he was carving up for the Crusaders, he was undoubtedly the best player in Super Rugby. It was just transitioning into international rugby was a bit different. He wasn't making those same effects that he was having with the Crusaders, but like you said, in that last World Cup, it started to come together. It was all piecing together, and I mean, a couple dodgy calls on that grand final.
We're not going back to that.
All the TikTokers are going to start hating me again.
The thing is, like, when he's left teams too, they haven't done as well. So when he sort of,
Good example.
I think 2017 he leaves. I think it was his last year with Canterbury, and then he was sort of looking in the All Blacks. I think 2018 onwards didn't play for Canterbury.
Tasman took over,
Boom.
right?
Like, yeah, other teams start taking over. So I think 14, 15, 16, 17 they won. Then he goes in the Crusaders and they win 17, 18, 19. Like, he's just
Couple of Aotearoa ones
now he's
as
left
well.
the Satyrs. What's happening there? They're struggling for a 10. They've tried four different 10s this year. And it's like, well, it just shows you the effect he has on different teams, and take him out of it, how much backwards they go. And it's not just him. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Sam Whitelock leaves. Will Jordan doesn't play this year for the Satyrs, but it's just showing how good of a footballer he actually is.
So on that game, I don't know if you saw, they were a bit lucky. There was a no try on full time disallowed. That forward pass. They went so many phases back. Did you see this? Tom?
Yeah, and I hate that we use the TMO like that sometimes, and it is fair, but.
It was forward, obviously.
It was obviously forward, but when you go back that far, it's like...
How anticlimactic. Like, they thought they won it over on full time. Wild. Marika Korobedi got that yellow card too, over the shoulder tackle, which was... I don't know. I do like that rule. I don't love it, personally. Because it's not dangerous. Like, he's just grabbing him from behind. It's not grabbing his neck. I don't know.
I mean, whatever we say, it's not going to change anything,
Yeah.
but...
It's been in the game
mate,
for so
you
long
moved the
now.
needle.
But it's been in the game for
Yeah, I know.
better part of 5 years, probably longer, so...
It just feels a bit off.
It obviously not the greatest of rule to sort of... Sometimes it's hard to tackle people from behind,
Yeah.
but we all know it's a rule now. So you can't excuse doing something like that because you know it's in the rule book.
Yep. So big day for the Brave Loopers. Obviously, shout out Dill Riley too, former Bondi doing his thing over for the Wild Knights. He played very well, as he always does.
He also made that 15 team of the year. Do you see that?
Did he? Oh, true.
Yeah. So like the team of that whole comp, they picked like
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
standout players in positions.
It's pretty impressive.
Was it Moanga was player of the year?
Shock.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, unreal. Now, the European final was on the weekend as well. An absolute classic. Toulouse have the wood over Leinster once again. 31 points to 22. Extra time thriller. It was 15-all on full time. The first try didn't come to the 83rd minute, but Anton Dupont gets it done once again.
He's got to be one of the best defensive halfbacks we've ever seen.
Mate, he's
Like,
just
I've watched
incredible.
good chunks of this game, and the amount of tackling, the amount of work he gets through, like he's, like I think he is the best player in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the impact he has when he's not playing. How teams struggle without him. We saw France. We saw the work he did when he went to the French Sevens and how they've turned around, and then went backwards again when he left.
Imagine if he goes and wins. Sorry, imagine if he goes and wins the Olympics in a few months' time.
Crown him.
Bro, even his defense in sevens, he's making 3 tackles. Yeah, do you see that clip?
Yeah,
He gets out, chops someone, they offload it, gets up again, chops someone. This is in a sevens game when you're just working the whole game. He's able to do that. Like, you don't see players doing that.
Like, and I know we've had Aaron Smith the last few years. He's been a great halfback for us. But as a Kiwi looking this year, if I could take anyone from around the world, and TJ's been in forward, Cam Roygaard's obviously grown, it would be him. Anton Dupont to come
100%.
play 9 for the All Blacks. I think the Wallabies would be the same too, even though they've got Tate there.
I
He's
think-
just that good of a player at the moment.
Yeah, I think in more years we're going to see that he's actually going to change the position of halfback because he does, for France, he does all the ball playing from halfback.
True.
And I think it's going to start being a trend, like the younger generations are going to look up to him and be like, that's who I want to play like and stuff like that. And I think it's actually going to mould the halfback position a lot.
And I think you're going to expect halfbacks to be able to tackle a lot more.
Yeah.
Halfbacks are some have been good, some have been poor, but his all round game is just
Phenomenal.
outstanding.
And I love the pilfer too over the top
Yeah,
of the ball.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just a well-rounded player.
Well,
That's why he's the best in the world.
I'll ask you the question: where does he sit in our sort of generation? Is he sort of the greatest we've seen in recent years? Like,
I think
where
it's
does he
still
sit?
too early
Too
to
early?
say that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
he's only been around, 4 years?
4 years at the top, like
The top.
Yeah.
shining as one of the pinnacles.
I think he does need a World Cup,
Yeah,
like or there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Like he's done all the club side of things, but you probably crown Richie in that sort of 10s era because he has 2 World Cups. Even though for the still probably 14, 15, he wasn't the player he once was. And it's the same as Dan Carter. No one really disputedly called him the GOAT until he won that World Cup in 2015.
Yeah.
So I think he just needs that World Cup or a couple of big wins under his belt. But if he stays like this until 2030, he's obviously the GOAT of the 2020s.
Probably as a halfback, though. He's probably pushing on that verge. Like
Who else? Smith? Who else is sort of in the
Aaron Smith.
George
like,
Gregan.
Griggs? Yeah.
Smith's probably... I reckon it's between Smiths and Griggs at the moment.
Yep.
But even
he's
like
knocking
Aaron
on that
Smith,
door.
he wasn't like one player that was going to change a whole game. Like the way that Antoine Dupont does. I know like his skills were like he never dropped. Like he was always at the highest level.
Offers more diversity.
But Dupont will literally break open a game if they need it. And like I said, he's the only halfback that I've ever seen who creates plays from halfback and like runs a whole team like that. I've never seen that before.
I agree that's the way it's changed.
Yeah.
The one thing Aaron Smith's done for the next generation of halfbacks coming through is how good your speed to the ruck and speed of pass has to be.
Yeah.
Because there was a point where New Zealand was struggling and then he come in and sped the game up and it suited our style of play because how fast he could ping that ball off the ground. And all the young halfbacks in NZ have been pushed to do that. And I think the Wallabies in particular have struggled to have a 9 like that recently. Like
Since
Nick
Kenya.
White, since Kenya. Then Kenya was more of a running 9.
True. Yeah.
But sometimes they struggle to play at tempo because they don't get that good pass. Like Tate's great, but his pass compared to Aaron Smith ain't even the same level.
No.
And like,
Even Jake Gordon,
yeah.
Nick White, like they just don't have that speed to ruck to sort of speed up the game and suit, I think, the Aussie style of play. I think Aussie falls into this European style, even though they've got such good backs, such good attackers, because they're not quick enough at the breakdown at test level.
Is Tate going to be a halfback?
I don't know. I don't think he's been in great form.
Yeah,
it's him
I
or
don't
Jake
think
Gordon, though, or Ryan
Yeah.
Lonergan. Like, those are your 3.
I don't think he should, to be honest. Like,
We haven't got much options, do we?
he kills momentum.
Yeah, he does get...
He
can be
played
good
well on
at
the weekend, I thought.
Yeah, like,
Obviously, they won by 50.
don't get me
but-
wrong. He does
miraculous
outlandish. Yeah,
things.
yeah, he does outlandish
He
stuff.
does outlandish
Yeah.
stuff, but his box kicking and his sort of passing let him down at times, especially at test level when there's not as much space.
Anyway, so yeah, Toulouse too good. Another former Bondi in that final as well, Richie Arnold, former second grade premiership winner back in the day. He got it done, so he's really making his worth known over in the French rugby scene. A bit of Pack 4, just abysmal once again, the Wallaroos. 67-19, New Zealand just destroyed them.
So
Tier 2 now.
Yeah, they dropped
They
out.
dropped down in tier.
Yeah, they're in they're in tier 2, and they're a chance of missing the World Cup.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so once they do that big thing, I think they have to win the comp in that tier 2 to go
I think
get
it's
into the World
and
Cup.
they're against Italy, South Africa. Like it's not going to be easy. Scotland, maybe.
South Africa and Italy are quite poor in the...
Well, mate,
women's
so are
though.
we. So
True.
yeah. Anyway, I even saw a few of those tries. It was like touch footy. That is.
And this is the issue, and I don't want to discredit any of the Wallaroos players, but some of the best women's rugby players have been lost, especially the young ones coming through because they're going to NRL dub.
Yeah,
They can get a paid contract. And I'm disappointed that... Did they give Shalom a go yet?
No.
You've got a player there that you could possibly push for higher honours. But I think Aussie will be in the World Cup. And they'll be stronger because they get a couple of those sevens girls that bounce.
Yeah.
What's her name? Biani.
Oh yeah.
She was great at
Tarita.
Tarita.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was
she's
great
so good.
at the last World Cup for them.
So they got to do what they can to keep Shalom.
Which is going to be
She's
tough.
gone. I'm pretty sure she's already
Well,
signed
she's
with the
already with the
Broncos.
The Bronx? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard that, but get her back.
Get it back.
Throw some money at her.
Yeah, throw it all at her.
Just
Generation.
find some money first.
You just think of the. Okay, story for another day. You think of the OG Wallaroos when Millie Boyle. Remember she played for Wallaroos. Imagine who she is now as a player playing Union, mate.
Yeah.
Like world class. Anyway, there's many what ifs there. I've read a lot of comments and different chat about obviously the coaching stuff about because Sione Fukafuka, he was the assistant. Now he coaches America, and obviously America beat
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Like,
And he didn't even get a look in for
no,
that job.
didn't even look at him at all to do it, and then I don't know. Plenty of that going on.
But do you think the same thing will start happening in New Zealand? Because they've just named that there's going to be an NRLW Warriors team, I'm pretty sure.
No, because there already was an NRLW Warriors team.
Really?
Like
And
years
that-
back, before
there
COVID.
was years.
Yeah,
and then
COVID stopped it. The other thing is New Zealand Rugby offer, I think it's like 35 professional full-time contracts where you're paid full-time on pretty much the same wage as NRL dub.
Oh, yeah.
And they also, their Super Rugby O-Picky has a lot of
Yeah, well, I mean, it's our national sport, so
Yeah, so there's a bit more funding in it, and
yeah.
I think a few will go across because they want to give league a go.
I've seen a lot of Kiwis this week being signed. Like I saw some Chiefs girls, I saw Blues girls signed to come over and play this year.
And I think the thing is, they can do both.
Yeah.
If you're not a Black Fern, you can play both the league and the Super Rugby at the start of the year, which is pretty good.
Yep. Anyway, so work to do for the Aussie women, but New Zealand, once again, looking the goods. They'll be one of the favourites next year, the World Cup. Before we move on, bit of news too. Barrett got denied from Super Rugby to do the...
As he
Blues thing.
should.
Yeah.
And I agree with what New Zealand's rugby statement was. It kind of ruins the integrity of the competition if you're
Facts.
bringing someone back in for finals.
100%.
We're in same facts, but if it was with Artie Savea, it would be blowing up.
No, I wouldn't. No. Straight up.
Defensive.
Straight up, I think that's fair. If they haven't
Yeah.
been there for the whole season, it doesn't matter who it is. They shouldn't be able to come back in, even if it was someone who's out of their prime. I still feel like you're still, you're getting an edge.
The funny thing is they can bring someone in on an injury replacement contract, though, for finals.
But it couldn't be someone like him, though.
No. I think because he's already contracted to NZR and got the sabbatical, and
Yeah, okay.
there's a lot of things I think that went into it, and I think it was keeping everyone a bit happy too.
It's a right
But
call, yeah.
I can
I'm
see
happy.
the flip side of it. Some people are blowing up because now you've got a guy there that's getting paid by the NZ Rugby, just sitting there not playing,
Yeah.
and we're paying him to come back and play for us.
But
But
there's only a few weeks left, and he will be playing soon.
yeah, I know, but you know what I mean.
It's
Like,
just bad optics.
if you're if I was getting paid to sit at home and not play,
So he's
I'd
back
be
for All
stoked.
Blacks test.
Yeah, he's be back in June, England.
he'll be in that initial squad. It'll be him and I think him and Damien are the 210s.
Yeah, who starts?
Yeah, tough
That's
call for
I think you
Razor.
got to go with Damien to start
Yeah.
solely because Bowden I think is going to need time to adapt to the speed and the physicality that he speed not so much because the Japan rugby is pretty quick, but the physicality that sort of changes from the big jump between the two levels.
Yes, so that is good news for your Canes, Reed. Some random news too. Rugby Australia signed a deal with Fanatics for the merch. You know Fanatics by Michael Rubin, they do all the college
Yeah.
merchandise. Rugby Australia's a sign of them doing the merch stuff, so it's kind of cool.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I reckon
They do all the college kit,
And
In America?
They're huge. in
like all the
America.
fan side of things. So they'll still have Essex as their
Yeah.
Yeah.
major sponsor, but then like Fanatics does all like the polos, shorts.
Yeah,
like all
but
the
they'll
cool
do
stuff.
more expanded stuff,
Yeah.
products.
Is their kit
Scarves.
sick?
Huh?
Is the kit sick?
Some of the
I
kit
haven't
they
seen
do
it
for
yet.
other stuff's unreal.
Yeah,
So
so much really cool. So
some of the Oregon, even the Ohio State, Miami Hurricane stuff. Like
Yeah.
I've got heaps of the Fanatics kit at home.
I reckon it's a good move. I actually like that.
You like the retro tees?
Yeah.
You know, you like the college t-shirts
Yeah.
that like have the thing. They do all those too.
So that could be cool for some Aussie rugby stuff potentially. So anyway, I saw that pop up today. Another one now was touch on just briefly the club rugby recap over the weekend, boys. Another brutal game for the lads. 25-21 going down the final moments. It was there for the taking.
Yeah, that's our fifth loss by I think less than 10 points, and this one I think kind of stung because I think it's one of the best we've sort of played, and we had 2 tries, 100-metre tries against us off turnovers in their 22, and I think you put it down to a bit of an experience amongst our squad and not knowing how to win games, not knowing how to be tough when we need you to be tough, and do those little things like get back on your feet and sort of milk the clock and score when we need to score.
Yeah, winning at that level.
Yeah, sometimes we try to force things to score on first phase, and yeah, like you put it down in experience, but I think we've got to be better across the board if we want to start winning, and I think this week's a big challenge for us, and it's almost like it is do or die. Like we probably need to win our next 2, and we're lucky. We're probably the luckiest team that's ever come out of the first round with only 2 wins to still be in the fight and be 2 wins out of the top 4.
Yeah.
So, ball's in our court for us to still sort of make that finals push, but it's going to be a tough road for me because we're going to have to sort of win, I guess, 7 of our last 10 games or 9 games, whatever it is.
Well,
So,
yeah, we have a massive back half of the year. Who knows? But
can't write ourselves off. We don't know the players that are coming back. Boys, good to see Nixon back on the field on the weekend and made a statement off the first carry off a line out
Yeah,
with a big
100%.
hit. So, yeah, obviously looking forward to this week, but we just got to take it week by week now and make sure we're learning from all the mistakes we've been making in our crucial parts of the game.
So we'll touch on it quickly. University of Queensland versus Bond Uni, the university battle. Obviously, we lost 2 of our coaches to them last year. We got one of theirs. Like it's going to be an absolute crack of a game.
Oh, plenty of storylines. Obviously, Old Boys Day.
Yep.
So, we, as I said, we got to go front up and play like we can either beat them, be close with them, or they're the type of team that can put 50 points on you. You saw that when they played Souths a couple of weeks ago. So they've got a lot of good running rugby in there, and it should be a good sort of club rugby game to watch because I think both teams like to attack. So it'll be an interesting one and plenty of storylines, trophy on the line.
Yeah, it's great.
So, looking forward to it, but I'm hoping we can do one for our old boys' days and I can make fun of Damo with some bragging rights to finish it.
Any thoughts, Rick?
Yeah, we just got to
More
cut.
so about this week.
Yeah, about this week. We just got to cut those little lapses out of our game. I think we've definitely got a team that can beat anyone, but just those little lapses. And I think it'll be a good test against UQ this week. I don't know, we'll see what happens.
How good. Giddy up. 3
Interesting
p.m.
to see what players are released this week from Super Rugby too,
Who
for
have
both
they-
sides.
Who have they got? Jock obviously won't be there.
Jock won't be there. That Joe Bryle, I
Creeley
think
won't be
Creeley won't be there. Joe Bryle's been on the bench since
True.
Harry Wilson's been down, so I don't think they actually have any for us. I don't know if we'll get Lucas because I don't know where the Rebels' head's at.
Yeah.
Tonga maybe, depends what the red like.
True. Yeah,
They're guaranteed 5th spot, so
we'll see.
It'll be a good game.
Bloody
Get down
hell,
to the canal.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon, canal. Past players there, should be fun. All right, let's get into Super Rugby round 15. But before we do so, tipping from last week, Tyler Campbell get the Woods over us this week. 5 from 6 on the picks. Me and Ree both 4 from 6. Overall, the standing is getting close, boys, coming down to the final round. So Tyler on 52 from 77, Jordan 53 from 77, and Rian 56 from 77. So we are in 3 points, 6 games this weekend.
I reckon I should have been double for the lines I called and 13
Yeah,
plus
you-
calls.
you-
I was on fire last
Yeah,
week.
all it was clipping you all weekend, mate. Just giving money out. It was good. Yeah, we caught you a little bit here, mate. Caught you a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not worried, but
Complacency.
not worried.
All right, let's see how we go.
1 week left.
So as we spoke earlier, the ladder situation, obviously the Drua needs to win. They will knock out the Satyrs. If the Blues win, they'll get a home final first up.
No. Yes.
If
Yes.
they win,
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah, that's
depends.
crazy. They just lost.
Yeah, but they got the same amount of wins as the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I know.
And way better for and against.
Yeah, I seen
Depends
that.
on bonus points and other things too.
Yeah, I saw that on the ladder.
So the Blues and Canes both on 51 points. The Brumbies on 48 points. So apparently there's a chance that the Brumbies can still top the league overall. If did read this.
They need the Hurricanes and Blues both to lose.
Which Land is playing. No, they're playing.
They're playing the Highlanders.
Yeah. So
Hurricanes are playing Highlanders. Blues are playing Chiefs.
so if they win versus the Force and Blues Hurricanes lose, yeah, they can top. But yeah, anyway, should be plenty to play for. Let's get into it. The first game of the weekend, the Crusaders taking on Moana Pacifica. So, of course, the teams aren't out yet. It's Monday evening. These lines and prices will change, but this is what they are as of right now. The Crusaders $1.04, Moana $9. The line is 23.5. Crusaders at home once again, off a win.
I'm going to say it is 25 plus. They need a bonus point to have a chance of making it.
Yeah.
So I think they go all out this week and play it like it's a what do you call it, top 16, like not a quarterfinal, the one before it. Like it's a do or
Round of
die
16.
game for them, and
Yeah.
they want to put themselves in the best chance, both for and against wise, and need to get that bonus point. And I think it's 3 tries. You've got to be ahead for a bonus point. So I think they come out and obliterate them this week. And it sucks because Moana have got a win last week, and I
can go in there pretty confident.
they're going confident, but I just think the Satyrs have a bit more to play for.
Yep.
I think sometimes when you're in that game where it means nothing, you sort of already got your head in Mad Monday.
Yeah.
But can't Moana still make it? So Moana, if they can finish at 8, if they beat the Crusaders and the Force and Drua lose.
Yeah,
So
Holy
yeah.
shit.
it's pretty tough for them. Like I think Crusaders get the job done.
So many
done easily
moving
here.
parts.
There is,
for
mate.
Yeah.
A lot going on. How do you see this one?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with Tyler with the Crusaders. Like, I did not see them beating the Blues last week at all,
No.
even though Tyler sort of called it. But I think after that performance, you got to agree with Tyler. It's going to be a high-scoring game for them. The whole season's on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of points, you'd imagine. I'll go Crusaders, yeah. Too good for me. In a big rout at home to finish off the season. Next up, the Waratahs versus the Queensland Reds. What used to be a pretty big rivalry. This season, not so much. The Tars, $4.40. The Reds, $1.18. The line's 13.5. This is in Sydney. What's your thoughts? I reckon Reds will go full strength team, what I'm hearing. What Les Kiss was saying that post-match after, he seemed like they're going to go full noise still.
Interesting because they can't go up or down.
But do you want more momentum heading to the finals?
Yeah, 100%.
I think there's momentum. You keep your team in, but if guys like Fluke, I would not play Fluky this week.
Okay, yeah.
Like he's been
Yeah,
beaten up
yeah.
and he needs
He's
a
one
rest.
one guy,
You
yeah.
need him fresh because I don't like. No offense to I guess a Tarjanin. I think there's a big gap between those two when they both play for the Reds. So
Absolutely, yeah.
if it's me, I'm hopefully trying to give Fluky a rest, but I'm not sure what happened on the weekend because he went off and then came back on.
Because one of the other backs got injured.
Yeah,
Who was it?
that's something. So that back you don't want to play either. You don't want to push him. in the-
Oh, Jock came off.
Yeah.
Hurt himself.
So
Right,
you don't want to push players that are going to, the 50-50 to play. You want to let them be fresh because they got a big challenge down in Hamilton the week after. So I think Reds get it done.
I reckon they probably won't play Campbell and Fluke, I reckon, would be my
Yeah.
guess.
Which means you're probably looking at Lawson Crichton in the back with Geordie Pataya out.
Yep.
Or if Floyd Aubrey comes to the wing and Mac moves back there, I'm not sure what they'll do, but I think they'll have a bit of a switch around there and sort of make sure those guys are fresh because they're two crucial players coming into finals for them.
100%. They've been in good form this year.
Waratahs, did they show anything? Final game at home?
They're a team that's definitely thinking about Mad Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah, facts.
So-
they've given up. Do you reckon give me some Reds by what?
I think, what's the line? 13?
Depends on the Reds team.
Yeah.
Everyone plays.
Reds are covering that line.
Look at
Reds
you
are-
fucking
I
talking
think
down like
everyone plays. Reds cover it.
that. Yeah.
If they have a few out, then I think it'll be a shit fight, but Reds get it done. I think their forwards are too good at the moment.
I think they'll cover it either way. Like you said, I feel like Waratahs' heads are probably straight into Mad
Given
Monday.
up,
Yeah.
Coleman's fucking having his beers. He's trying to find a new job. Anyway, so yeah, the Reds, all of us, to be too good on Friday night. Next up, the Fijian Drua take on the Melbourne Rebels over in Fiji. $1.20 are the Drua, $4.20 are the Rebels, 12.5 is the line. Massive game for both of these sides, needing to win for finals. Or Rebels are in the finals, confirmed.
Really?
Yep,
They are in there. Yeah.
Because fourth and ninth, they're 7 points ahead of ninth place. So they can finish
Yeah.
seventh or eighth.
Worst case scenario for the Rebels, they lose to the Drua with Drua getting a bonus point. They finish in 8th.
How crazy is that? A team with a negative 126 point differential can make the finals.
With
What
5
do you mean?
wins.
You got 127 and 123 here too. The fourth and draw.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's pretty ridiculous.
Shambles. And obviously the Drua didn't score a try on the weekend, so they'll be eager to get back home. In Lautoka, hard spot to
During the day,
during the day, baby.
12 o'clock.
Prime time.
I might have to go with Fiji here. Eh? And if Fiji win, does that mean that Crusaders, bye-bye?
Yeah.
Yeah, which we love that.
Who do I
Yeah.
want to win? Who do I want to win is Fiji. But I'm going to go the Rebels because they're coming off a big loss.
Shit, okay.
And if it's me, I'm playing my full strength side because I don't want to go and play the Hurricanes or Blues in that first quarterfinal.
No.
You want to do whatever you can to make it slightly easier path. Like, are the Brumbies much easier? No. But it's still slightly easier and you want to give yourself that best chance. And
Yeah.
especially if the Landers playing the Hurricanes this week, I just think you're going all out. So I'm going to tip the Rebels here. And I just think a lot of finals footy, there'll be a lot of passion there. And Fiji can go either way.
Yeah.
They'll be outstanding or they'll be freaking horrible because the pressure will get to them. So I'm going to give the Rebels the nod and be my one different one for the week.
I like it. Fiji?
Yeah, Fiji.
Yeah, I go Fiji to win as well. Too good at home. They are going to get it done. And it'll be the second time in a row they've made the finals, which will be good for the Drua. All right, let's go to the Hurricanes taking on the Highlanders in Wellington. $1.50 are the Canes, $6.50 are the Landers, 17.5 is the line. Both coming off good wins on the weekend.
As good as the Landers were last week, I think the Hurricanes get it done and get it done with a bonus point.
So what are Canes doing for their team, reckon, this week? Are they going full noise?
They
I
have to.
think. Do you reckon?
Well, my thing is, you want the home final.
Yeah, true.
You don't want to go up, if you have to play Auckland in the final, the Blues, you don't want to go up to Eden Park.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
it's both ways. Blues will be the exact same too. But the Hurricanes know if they get a bonus point win, the Blues then have to go get a bonus point against the Chiefs,
Yeah.
True.
which makes it a lot tougher.
True.
So I think the Canes go all out and put the pressure on them to go get a bonus point win because they're on the same points.
Yeah.
So I'm backing the Canes here, 13 plus, or
17.5, that's line. It's a lot of points. But
17.5 plus. I back them to cover that
yeah,
line.
Yeah, put on a show. So the best case scenario for them is if they win and the Blues lose, they'll top it. And the worst case scenario, if they lose to the Highlanders and the Brumbies win, they'll come in third.
They can get a bonus point win and the Blues win and still top it.
Can they?
Yes, because they're both on 51.
Okay, right. Here we are. There's a lot going on, isn't there? Glad you're here.
Because they're both on 51. If they get 5 points, they go to 56.
Yeah.
The Blues win and don't get a bonus point, they go to 55. So they'll top the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that the wrong way. I was like, that math does not add up.
I've been working on my math.
Good. Canes, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
I just think their pack's too good at the moment.
Bro, their pack is so
Like,
strong.
they don't do anything over the top with their shape, but their ability to tip and play those little inside balls, outside balls, and get behind the gain line. Like Xavier Numia's try on the weekend, outstanding. Like you tip a prop, you don't back him to run 30 metres and sort of half outrun Sean Stevenson.
Yeah, bro. Like, actually, and saying that, though, I think that is the best shape that I've seen from the Hurricanes this year.
Yeah, they were pretty
against
clinical.
the Chiefs. Like, their shape was flowing. Like you said, there were heaps of stop and starts.
There
Maybe
wasn't
that
any
helps.
stops.
Maybe
Yeah.
that helps because they do have a big pack. But their shape was looking real good. And those tips and just those little things were something that was getting them over the advantage line a lot, whereas most of the time you see them just get it to Ruben Love and he works his magic.
So
He got shut down, actually.
So the Landers are guaranteed to make the finals, aren't they, as well?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, they're safe. So they'll be, Canes by a lot. All right, this is going to be an absolute cracker. The Blues and the Chiefs, $1.50 the Blues, $2.45 the Chiefs, 4.5 is the line. This game is being played in Auckland. Boys, plenty to play for here.
Not really.
What do you mean?
Plenty to play for the Blues, but
Yeah.
nothing to play for the Chiefs.
So are the Chiefs locked in at where they are?
Yeah, they can't go to third because they've got less wins than the Brumbies. So even if they go to 48, it goes on wins before for and against.
Do you think they rest?
I don't think they go all out. Like, there'd be
Yeah.
guys that have niggles and stuff that you're not pushing because you got to play the Reds in 2 weeks.
True. Best or worst, fourth.
Yeah.
Locked in. Yeah.
They're locked into fourth, and I don't think they take their top side. I think a few guys that have got niggles get a rest. They're obviously not going up there to lose, but I think they'll go up there to sort of, I guess, the Battle of the Bombays, it's a big thing, but I think they'll give some guys a run this week that probably won't see much finals footy.
You know, there's an opportunity here for people listening to this tonight when I post it out. These lines that'll change when teams get on. So get on these lines early because Blues minus the 4.5 now. Looks like a good bet. Canes minus the 7. That'll move up higher again. So anyway.
But I don't
Hammer
think
it.
the Blues get the bonus point.
You don't.
Just because of the rivalry between the two teams, I still think it will be 10 points. I don't think they get that 3-try ahead bonus point that they're probably looking for and need.
How far off is Fina from being back? Is he
Well,
done?
that's the thing. If he's good to go, he'd be one they'd play. But they'll obviously want to test their back row and work out. They might rest a Luke Jacobson, for example, who's had a few niggles this year.
Yep.
And let's go, okay, do we want that Wallace Satiti, who was great on the weekend?
Yeah.
Kylan Boucher, what's going to be our best combination? So they're probably going to give guys a chance to fight for that final spot and see who's the best in form. Simon Parker's another one that's played really good for them. So I expect them to sort of dabble around and make some changes and look at combinations that they're going to want to use in finals and see what their best fit is.
Picks?
Blues.
Blues.
Blues. Lovely.
It's the only time I
Okay,
think I've gone
so-
against the Chiefs.
How many picks have we had different?
I've had one.
So you and I have had none. We all agree.
Okay. Congrats, boys.
No, what do you mean? We're going to finals as well.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Look at this guy trying to finish.
Trying to cut it short.
trying to crown
Is
the
that negative
trophy
2
at-
points?
Around 15.
That's a negative,
Holy
isn't
hell,
it?
this guy. Not yet, my friend. Not yet.
I thought we were starting again for finals.
No, mate. It goes all the way to the end.
Okay.
All right, so the Force and the Brumbies to finish off round 15. The Western Force, $2.45. The Brumbies, $1.50. The line is 5.5. Over in the West, the Force obviously playing for their future in this game. Brumbies can push forward a little bit.
I also think the Brumbies want to try and get into second and hope the Landers beat the Hurricanes. Because they'll want as much games at home because they did not travel well to NZ at all this year.
Yeah.
Like they struggled against the Landers there, I think.
Yeah. No, they won that one. They were poor
But they
against-
struggled.
Oh,
They
okay.
got
It was
flogged
it was
by the
grind.
Blues.
Yeah, facts.
So I don't think they want to go to New Zealand and have that game. So I think you, as I said, you're trying to make your path as easy as possible. So I think they go full strength this week, unless players are a little bit battered. So I expect them to have still a pretty solid team. And you think like an Alatoa, the more minutes he gets, the better he's going to be in finals because he hasn't played much. Len Ikitau's the same. They may rest they've rested Noah in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I
I reckon
think
he
they'll.
plays, yeah.
I reckon they go full noise here and try and get the job done. So I'll back them. I just didn't see enough out of the Force. I know they're at home, but I didn't see enough out of them last week to warrant them pushing for a final spot.
Anything.
Yeah. Brumbies win. Brumbies minus the 5.5.
Yeah.
Tommy Wright, Tool, tries, something.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Tommy Wright, bro.
Gun.
Flying
His,
his way
his
to
try
try.
last week, nothing doing, and he runs over a flanker.
Yeah, strength, man.
Bro.
Power.
Charlie Cahill back yet?
Hey, what's going on with him?
I think he kind of fell out of favour a little bit. Because
Really?
Nick Frost moved to 6.
He was killing it first half.
Valentini's playing 8. And they had Jerome Brown on the weekend because I think Luke Reimer was out injured. So
Anyway, so Brumby's too good in the West.
Yeah.
We agree on that. Sweet, there we go. So round 15 in the books. Our only differences are Big Phil here's back in the Rebels to get it done in Fiji. Let's see it all pans out, boys. That's in the books. Let's talk about anything else, really.
what's making you mad, Reed?
I just think that I need a smaller jersey.
What do you mean?
Bro, I need a smaller jersey for real.
Because
He's got a medium.
No, I don't. I have a large.
Sure.
what have you tucked it in?
I swear I tuck it in, but it just comes out. What I'm going to do this week
It's tape it.
is I'm going to pull my pants down, pull the shirt all the way down, wrap tape around my waist,
Yep.
and then pull my shorts
He
back
got
up.
grabbed about 6 times by the shirt when he made a half break.
Yeah, that hurts.
It's
It was
killing
pretty
me.
funny to watch.
It's killing me.
It's killing me.
Be strong.
I
Pump your
swear
legs.
to God, I was on the field and I was like almost about to lose my shit because I was like the game's on the line,
Get the,
and I'm like close, but every single time.
get some suspenders.
I just need to get stronger and just power through it when they,
Leg
grab my
drive.
shirt, yeah.
Yeah, right. That is annoying.
But the whole 75 kilos of me, once you get my shirt, I'm probably not going anywhere.
Like little wherever.
yeah, exactly.
Oh fuck. Okay.
But then on a happier note,
Yeah.
I think this video's a bit old, but have you seen the morning shift, the all-time Blues versus the all-time
I was
Hurricanes?
seeing heaps of their clips all the time.
Morning
Oh
shift's great.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
It's the best
Are
radio
they
show.
number one in NZ? Well, they must be
Easily.
gosh.
And it's
Easily.
pretty funny because they were all on My FM.
Yeah, and they all left.
They all got kicked off My
What's
FM.
the
No. They wanted to move away from Jordan, I'm pretty sure. And then Jordan